Is there anything, if you were commissioner for a day, is there a rule that you would change or a change that you would make to the game of baseball?
Love to see the game get a bit more international. Feel like there's some potential. I understand. I understand we have a condensed schedule. I know that the players want their full salary. The the owner side wants the full 162 gates. I get it. I don't know how you expand it. It could be similar to what the UFC does in terms of building UFC. I believe it's like a UFC gym or a UFC training center in different places around the world. And I think that that's their way of putting a flag in the ground or perhaps building a connection with that community. I do know we do that. There's no doubt about it. We do that.
Yeah.
I I would like to see it in, it's a beautiful sport, and to see it thrive in Latin America and see it thrive in parts of Asia, it's a testament to how simple of a sport it is and how much it aligns with our natural sort of throwing something, catching something, swinging at something, running, sprints, diving, sliding. These are all things kids do.
Yeah.
Kids, we love being outside in the grass, in the dirt, sliding for something, making light contact. These are things that are in line with, I think, being a kid. And I think carrying that to different parts in the world, I'd love to see our sport grow to the same. You see a sport like cricket. It's got like 1.5 billion people that support it,
Mhm.
and we're maybe a third of that. So I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm no commissioner here. I'm certainly the most medium intelligent person in the room, but I do feel like
Medium intelligent.
there's more potential. And I do think with the continued games in Mexico, games in Europe, games in Asia, I do think we're expanding in that way, but I'd love to see a bit more.
If you're a player on a team, let's say you're on the Dodgers or Padres and you're getting ready to take off in, I don't know, 10 days for Seoul to play in the Seoul Series, how how are you feeling as a player where March 20th your season starts, you play 2 games in Seoul, you come back to the United States and play in spring training for a couple of days and then go to opening day on March 28th? How are you handling that as a player and are you excited about doing it?
And say as someone without a job right now, that I would be you only have so many opportunities. You have
Yeah.
only so many opportunities in life. And to be able to wear a major league uniform and play a game in a completely different continent that is memorable, that's opening the major league season. To me, I understand the discomfort, I understand the potential challenges, but you'll always have that. I'll
Yeah.
share with you, we did the Field of Dreams game, and we played a game in New York. And the next AM, we had a 9:45 AM bus, something like that. And I don't get up until almost noon. This is my routine. I stay up till 1:30, 2:30, maybe sometimes later, sometimes earlier, what have you. But I try to max out my sleep. I'm trying to be in bed for 10 plus hours, right?
Yeah.
I'm 40, right? So 9:45 is a shock to my system. I'm playing every day. We take the hour and a half transit through New York traffic. Then we wait on the plane for another couple hours. Then we fly across to the Field of Dreams in Iowa. That's a 3-hour flight. Get off the hour bus ride to the ballpark. So from 9:45 until 4 p.m. we were in transit. Then we got to play a game that night, including media, including prep, including da 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 da. After the game, another hour bus ride back on. Get on a plane, head back for the following game. I think we had a day off. Neither here nor there. Would I have any other, would I drop a major league day like that? No,
Mhm.
of course not. But forever I have that. I get to say I played on the Field of Dreams field. I get to say that I had the memories of wearing that uniform and speaking with an earpiece on with John Smoltz and the Fox crew. I believe it's Fox. And I'll always have that. And I'm missing someone else that I spoke with, but I'll always be able to have that. And so you give some stuff up sometimes to have those great memories. And more importantly, we're expanding the game. This is part of our job.
Yeah.
It's crucial that we continue to build bonds all over the world. This is crucial. It's part of our salary. So I have no I understand the pushback or the discomfort, but ultimately, we're here to serve.
Well, it does. It finally feels. I don't want to say finally. I do think Major League Baseball deserves a lot of credit over the last few years. You got London, Mexico, the Seoul Series. It feels like they're starting to get it and expand and to grow the game outside of just the United States and Canada as well. So it does feel like it's heading in the right direction there for sure.
There's been work. I don't want this to come off as any sort of criticism.
Yeah.
Think when I think about other places, and I understand the I don't even understand the roadblocks. But when I think about Africa, when I think about I believe one of the top prospects is Indian, if I'm not mistaken. I think about all these different places, Australia. I remember games being played in Australia, and I believe Ichiro finished in Tokyo. And so there's without a question, there's effort. Without question, there's effort.
Yeah.
And maybe I don't know that there's growth in those different parts of the world, but when I see videos on X or Instagram Reels or TikTok, what have you, of players in different parts of the world, it just reminds you that this game can travel. And picking up a little rock and chucking it as hard as you can and trying to catch it and trying to hit it and diving for something in the mud or the snow or the rain or on concrete. You see this on sprinting as hard as you can. This is a beautiful, beautiful game. And it's not a particularly expensive game to
Yeah.
play if you just want the bare bones of it. Last thing I'll say about this, I grew up throwing a ball against a wall. You know, I threw into a square. My dad basically gave me, I think it was a rubber ball, lacrosse ball, or tennis ball, or baseball, and I would go up back and throw against the wall. That's it. You go from there. You graduate from there. If you have any potential with that, maybe we get a glove, or you
Yeah.
maybe figure out how to do it with a bare hand, or you go buy yourself a glove. Okay, now maybe I'll throw to you. You hit with a stick. Okay, you're okay with a stick. Maybe you graduate to a bat. It's an inexpensive game to build the basics on,
Yeah.
and that to me can transfer all over the world.
Forgive me. I forget exactly where it was, but did you see the photos from earlier this offseason that went viral of kids playing? They were almost like playing baseball in front of like a temple. And it was almost like
Bhutan. It
emotional seeing those
was
photos. It was
Bhutan.
unbelievable.
I believe it was in Bhutan. Bhutan.
Yes. Yes.
I
Yep.
think I may be saying it correctly. Beautiful. That gets through customs everywhere. A little ball, a beautiful, beautiful pearl.